Every year, the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey honors a local team that either still exists or existed at one time. And one of those teams that will be honored will be today, the Concord Eastern Olympics. And they came on the scene in 1967 when the Eastern Olympics of Boston merged with the Concord Coachmen. And the team lasted until 1974. And from left to right, we have former members of the Concord Eastern Olympics. Greg Wright, Bob Carr, Dave Conti, Tom Meacham, and Leo Gerard. Quite a distinguished panel here today. And we'll start with Greg. And when did you join the Olympics?
I believe it was in 69, 68 or 69. I had been in Canada playing in Halifax, and I got drafted into the service, and I got stationed at Fort Devens, Mass. And of course, Billy Seabree and Frankie Seabree and Glennie Aramo were with the Eastern Olympics, and they knew who I was because I grew up with everybody and they knew my ability. And they said, "Come on, we're going to practice something." We practiced on Tuesday nights, I believe. And we went to the practice, and Bob Tatar said to somebody in the group, or the coaching and whatever, they said, we don't need any more defensemen. And I think Bob Tatar said to him, if we don't take Greg, he's going to go down to Manchester and play for the Monarchs because he's going to play hockey this year. And that's how I got to Concord.
That's how you wound up in Concord with the Eastern Olympics. How many years did you play with them?
Oh, I don't know. There was quite a few.
Yeah, quite a few.
I can't remember exactly how many years.
What about any memories, any special memories you have?
We had great memories, and Tom and I, we're chatting about different things, but it was just a bunch of good guys. You know what I mean? They were most everybody was graduated from one of the major colleges around New England and played hockey for the varsity. So the caliber of hockey was extremely good, and memories, there's probably too many to even, most of it's gameplay and stuff like that there. But we were like a family. Yeah. We practiced all over New England. We went down to Harvard. Yeah, we practiced up here. We practiced in a different bunch of rinks wherever Bob Tatar could get ice, I guess. And we had a bunch of great coaching. Some ex-pros, and Pat Egan was one of them, and there was a bunch of people that coached, and it was just one big family.
It was a great time of your life.
And then after the games, we always got together, the same group, and went out and had a few cocktails.
A few adult beverages, huh?
Yeah, adult beverages, and then when I think back then, the last call was 1 o'clock, and at 1 o'clock, everybody got in their cars and went back to Mass or wherever they lived. At that time I was living in Concord here, and we waited for Tuesday night when we had practice again, and we showed up.
And then you played on the weekends.
And then we played on Saturdays. Yeah. Saturday was the Olympics home night. Yeah. And I think Manchester was Sunday nights. Yeah. Was Sunday nights, and I could go down the different towns. Yeah. Lowell and Braintree and Framingham, and who else was there? Nashua had a team for a while there. Fitchburg had, yeah. And we all, we had, those particular days. So we were, us guys were together probably 2-3 nights a week, and everybody left their homes and jumped out of work at 5 o'clock and drove 2 hours, jumped at got in a hockey rink and played the game and got up and went home.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everybody had a real job, too.
Everybody had a real job. Yeah. But the hockey was great. It was good caliber hockey. And we had a good time.
I know you do, and reminisce about it very well. Bob Carr,
Welcome. Great to have you with us today. Nice to be here. Bob, when did you join the Concord Eastern Olympics?
68, 69 season.
Has that been the second year?
I believe so, yes. Yeah.
So give us some of your memories.
It was, as Greg said, it was great fun, great place to play. Great crowds, great enthusiasm. As Greg said, the hockey was great. And, but you can't say enough about the overall experience, because the fan base in Concord was always great, always great.
Very
terrific.
Yeah, and the thing was, back then you didn't have as many minor leagues at that time, minor league teams, and so some of the top level college players, obviously after their graduation, had nowhere else to go in a lot of cases.
That's 100% correct, and it was also during the Vietnam era, so a lot of people were in between service and staying home, and as we said, trying to get a real job, and then playing 2 nights a week. We'd play Saturday nights at home, as I said, with a great crowd, and then 1 night a week on the road, and then 1 practice. And then most of the fellows, in some form or another, will be skating on their own too, either coaching or working out. So the level of competition was still very good, because we were playing college teams, we were playing teams in the New England League, and as Greg said, most of the players had previous college experience or minor pro experience, so it was always a good level of hockey.
Bob, thank you. Great to have you with us today. And Dave Conti, tell us about your experience with the Concord Eastern Olympics.
Well, I came here right after college. It'd be 71, 72 season. It was a different time, as you said. There were only 12 NHL teams, which means there were only 12 AHL teams and 12 East Coast League teams. Now I work in the NHL, so it's multiplied exponentially. Everybody can play, so the quality was good, and it was a special time because guys that were good players could play and get a career and get something else going for them. I don't know how many guys got jobs with a phone company here in Concord, and the people were very helpful with it. I was young, and I was torn between, I had coaching at New England College. I was torn between whether I wanted that career or wanted to keep playing, and decided I wanted to keep playing. So I went to Europe after a couple of years and played 30. Now I end up chasing players all over the world in the NHL. And like you were saying, you're working in the AHL team. There were some good players in this league. Mike O'Connell, who I'm sure you're familiar with, he played in this league. Yeah. 16-year-old, and he was a very good player. Larry Patey in St. Louis played in this league. But the guys that you would play, I played against in college, and they were all, the third-line college player wasn't going to make this team. You had to be someone of some repute to make the team. So I thought it was a really good experience. I wish I would have had it maybe at a different stage of life and had chased some other things, because you're 22 or 23 years old. I love the coaching at New England College, but I didn't like it when players a year younger than me are coming to me with their problems. I was having enough problems of my own without them. But the people in town embraced you. I lived with Bill Crookshank, who was in Charlie Blossom. They took me in their homes, and that family relationship has continued on. And some of the guys I just saw here, it's kind of nice. A guy like Roger Letourneau probably saved his life being around this league and what people were able to do for him outside of hockey. Because the gilded path of success in business or whatever isn't always easy without a little bit of help, and the people here provided that help.
You talk about being in the NHL. You've been with the New Jersey Devils for a while.
I was 31 years there, and then I went to Vegas for a couple of years, and now I'm with the Islanders, kind of a more consultant level. And I actually started in Washington after my time in Europe. So it's amazing what hockey, just things sort of fall into place. And when I came back from Europe, I had alumnus from Colgate offer me a job with a bank in New York for $50,000 a year in 1980, was a lot of money. And I said, I think I'll try this scouting job for $15,000 a year. And they said, you're crazy. You'll get fired in this scouting job. Well, 40 plus years later, I'm still working, and the banks have been sold 12 times. So the lesson is follow your heart and do what you like to do. Find something you love to do, and somebody stupid enough to pay you to do it.
Absolutely, that is a good credo for everyone. And thanks, Dave Conti. And we move to Tom Meacham. And Tom, another former member of the Concord Eastern Olympics. When did you join?
So I think it was the 68, 69. I think it was the second year of the Eastern Olympics, but the first year of the New England League. And I'm sort of trying to prove Dave's point, which is I played for the Harvard JVs. That was my level of hockey. But at the end of the season in 68, Jack Garrity, who was about to become the coach of the Eastern Olympics, was going to take a team up to Canada to play. It was the end of the season, and he couldn't get enough players. And young Jack was a classmate of mine at Harvard, so we went up. I went up with that team, and Billy Seabury was playing. And were you playing, Bubba? And I said, this is fantastic. This is what I want to do. So the next season, the Concord Olympics joined the New England League, and I'm telling you, I called Jack Garrity 2 times a day saying, Jack, am I going to be in the lineup tonight? Meanwhile, I was coming to all the practices. But Con is right. I wasn't good enough yet to play, but I just kept pestering Jack and pestering him. And finally said, Jesus, all right, you can dress for this game. And, and I was 100 miles an hour, banging into the boards, banging into anything that moved. And eventually I was like killing penalties. And then the next year I was playing a little more regularly. And then, ended this career with the Concord Olympics with then Billy Seabury, and he became a close friend, I must tell you, Bubba. Okay, anything you want, Billy. And so it was. I just loved it. I loved hockey, and I just wasn't going to give up on it. And there was this team, and I had as I'm going to talk about a little bit later, I had a connection with Concord. Hockey in Concord anyway, because my father went to St. Paul's and played there, and he played for the Sacré Coeur team when he was a master there, which was a precursor of the Eastern Olympics. So I already felt an affinity towards this local hockey in Concord anyway, so it was just fantastic.
Wow, a great experience for all of you. I know the level was terrific. I used to watch some of those games as a kid at Hockey Town USA in Melrose. Some of those great games. And
didn't he have a rink on the bottom with the posts in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that used to be the mass transit bus station where they fixed the buses.
Yeah, exactly. There was a post downstairs. Yeah. A couple of future NHLers learned to skate there. I know Mark Kumpel did for one. And we move on and talk to Leo Gerard. And Leo, I've heard great things about you.
Well, unfortunately, a little vague as I get older. But I transitioned, moved down here in '65 from Berlin, New Hampshire. In '65, they were just starting the hockey rink here in the Concord team. And so I played for them for a couple of years, and then we transitioned to the Coachman and then to the Eastern Olympics. And so I transitioned to the Eastern Olympics. And up until then, I'd always played defense. I was always a defenseman. And then they hired this guy called Burns. I think his first name was Norm Burns or whatever. I forget his first name. And he thought that physically I was too small to be a defenseman, so he decided to put me on left wing. So I played left wing with, I think it was Bud Emery for sure, Bud for sure, and then Dick Pinch from Massachusetts. And we had a heck of a line for the time that I played. At the time I was transitioning out of hockey. I got married and kids were on the way, and so if memory serves me right, I only played that 1 year or maybe the second year, and from there I went on to coach Bishop Brady High School for 4 or 5 years. I refereed for another 3 years, and then out of hockey, formal hockey altogether. But memories are mostly practices that we had, like these guys said on Tuesday nights, and you get together with the guys that we had played with from the Concord Shamrocks and the Coachman, and it was just a good time. It was just, unfortunately, like I said, it was the end of my career as far as playing amateur hockey was, so I don't have a lot of memories there. I spent so many years playing for different teams and different places that everything kind of gels into one. I played for the Berlin Maroons for a bunch of years, and of course the highlight there was that the 1 year, one of the last games that I played, we took the U.S. National Championships in Lewiston, Maine as a Berlin Maroon player. So But as far as East Olympic goes, it was just the standout part was Burns taking over as coach and changing things around that really made a big difference for me. But as far as the games go, there was just too many of them to settle down and tell you which game was which. Of course, we had always had the rivalry with Manchester, and they always had a powerhouse of a hockey team. And then, the Granite State Hockey League, I played when I first moved to Concord in '65. That was a good league, but this East Olympics, like these guys were saying, was one step above and how the sport had grown in Concord.
Absolutely. Some great memories of the Concord Eastern Olympics being honored today by the New Hampshire Legends of Hockey. And thanks again to Greg Wright, to Bob Carr, to Dave Conti, Tom Meacham, and Leo Gerard for being with us. Some great memories, guys, and congratulations on your great success with the Concord Eastern Olympics.
Thank you.